So you want to start by getting 2 used wrapping paper tubes. And you're just going to cut one of them right down the center. And then squish the edges of that cut together so that you make your tube smaller. And then you'll just stuff that inside your other tube. This is going to give the handle added strength. And then you'll just want to get a little ball about the size of a mace head. If you get a plastic one, you can just cut a hole out and shove the wrapping paper tubes in, but all I found was a rubber one, so I'm just going to glue it onto the wrapping paper tubes. And if you're using a rubber one, you want to make sure that the air valve is hidden inside the cardboard when you glue it to the cardboard tubes. So you'll just want to put hot glue pretty heavily around the edge of your wrapping paper tubes. It's okay if it's sloppy. And then just glue your ball right onto the top of that. And then take your hot glue gun and add a really thick layer of hot glue around the bottom of that. And it's okay because it'll look like solder later on. And that'll just make a really strong, secure hold for the ball. So then cut about 9 semicircles out of cardstock. And you're just going to bend them right in the center and bring the edges around to meet each other. And those will be the spikes for your mace. So make those a little more permanent. Put some hot glue along the edge, bend them back around again, and there's your spikes. So then put a layer of hot glue along the edges of your spikes. Don't burn your fingers, because we're going to add more hot glue in a second. Push that onto the ball, and then holding that on, add a really thick layer of hot glue around the bottom of it. You want to make sure that it touches both the ball and the cardstock. That'll hold it in place, and it'll look really cool once you add the spray paint. So just make sure it's laid on there pretty thick. And so then you just go along doing the same thing with all the rest of your spikes, just kind of randomly placing them on the ball. So here's what it looks like with all the spikes glued on. Then you just want to cut a piece of 1/4 inch craft foam, about 3 inches wide and long enough to encircle the handle of your mace. Just run a little hot glue along the short edge. Fold the edges together and hold that until it's dry. And then once that's set, slip it on the bottom of your mace handle. And then just swivel it to the top until it's a couple inches beneath the mace head. So then you're going to add some glue paste to anything that is cardboard or foam. You don't need to do the ball because the spray paint will stick to that, but you want to add it to the mace points and the foam and the actual handle. This will both strengthen it and allow the spray paint to sit on it without looking flat. I'm just using straight glue here, but you can also water it down if you want to. This is just Elmer's glue. Make sure you get the bottom of the foam as well. And then of course the handle. You'll want to do 3 coats. You want to do a coat and then let it dry, do another coat and let it dry, and then do a 3rd coat and let it dry. So you want to have 3 coats of glue on this in all. Once you got your coats on, then you'll just cover it with a coat of gold spray paint. And this is where it starts to look like solder. And then the foam, you're just going to take some metallic bronze paint and paint the piece of foam that's around the handle. And then take that same metallic bronze paint and paint all the little hot glue ridges around the spikes. So here's all the bronze. And I also did underneath where the ball connects to the mace handle. Just kind of gives it a little more dimension so it's not solid gold. So then here is what the finished mace looks like. And because of the colors used, it kind of has a steampunk look to it, so if you didn't want to use it for Hawkgirl, you could also use it as just a steampunk mace. And if you want to do Hawkgirl Silver Mace, just replace the colors with chrome silver and dark metallic gray.